Tim Priester with Tim O'Malley in Notre Dame Stadium. Later tonight, it's number 7 Stanford at number 8 Notre Dame. We learned yesterday, Irish Illustrated did, that Jafar Armstrong will not be participating tonight, which is a blow. It's good to have Dexter Williams back, there's no doubt, but Jafar Armstrong was playing much better. But Tim, I know that you found some stats here in recent Notre Dame-Stanford battles. We know that Stanford's won 3 in a row and 7 of the last 9, but there's some numbers that Notre Dame has to improve defensively if they are to win this evening.
Yeah, just kind of thinking back to the games they lost, it seems like Notre Dame has done poorly defensively in the red zone against Stanford, and that's really not. Notre Dame was good last year in the red zone. They're good this year in the red zone defensively. Do you know the last time they stopped Stanford in the red zone? You know, at home. Stephon Taylor, 4th down, overtime to win the Classic in 2012. It's remarkable, really, when you think about it. The last 3 games, Stanford's been in the red zone 11 times, scored 10 touchdowns and a field goal. Since Notre Dame won that 2012 game, 18 trips to the red zone for Stanford, 15 touchdowns and 3 field goals. I do think that's going to change tonight. I really think Notre Dame's pass rush can impact things, and it doesn't have to change where they don't score. You just have to keep them out of the end zone, and that's really the key to red zone defense.
It took a great Notre Dame defense that night to stop Taylor, and Notre Dame has a pretty good one trending towards great. There's no doubt about that. Now, Ian Book presumably will be making his 2nd start this year, 3rd of his career. Really interested to see how he does tonight. Obviously it's going to be a lot more difficult tonight against Stanford than it was against Wake Forest, but he did so many good things, and I think Notre Dame fans in general and we in general are encouraged by Notre Dame's opportunity here tonight with Ian Book at quarterback.
It's reasonable to think he's improved since last year. He played a better defense last year in LSU than he will see tonight in Stanford. This is the biggest stage. It was probably easier to come into that LSU game as a backup, but there's no reason to think Ian Book will struggle tonight. Now, I don't think he's going 25 for 34 with no picks. I think if he does throw 35 more passes than that, you're probably going to see an interception because he's going to do what you said quarterbacks will do when they get confident. He's going to take a chance. He maybe hasn't taken it, and it is a step up in competition from Wake Forest.
Right. Notre Dame's defensive front has a really tall order here tonight in addition to the red zone opportunities for Stanford tonight. They have to stop Bryce Love. Bryce Love is outstanding. I thought it was interesting that Julian Love said, you don't want solo tackles against him, or you don't want to be put in a solo tackle situation because he's going to be very difficult to corral. You have to rally around the football. And so far, Bryce Love has been relatively contained early in the season. We'll see if Notre Dame can make some inroads against an offensive line which pretty much across the board in the country thought that Stanford's offensive line would be one of the best in the country, and they've struggled up to this point.
Well, all these David Shaw, Brian Kelly matchups, you had to worry about Stanford's offensive line and Stanford's defensive line. It's the total opposite now. Now, Stanford's defense is playing better than we thought it would, but that's relative to us thinking they would be way down. It's the perimeter, the wide receivers, of course, Bryce Love. Now, the defense is still going to be hard to crack because they have a good coordinator that mixes things up, and I think there's going to be a bit of a challenge at offensive tackle for Liam Eichenberg and Robert Hainsey to handle that blitz. But this is still not the Stanford defenses that have come in here and really played well in the past.
Right. Notre Dame's offensive line has played well the last 2 weeks, but a big step up in competition, and it'll be a great matchup, one that we will observe closely. Notre Dame's offensive line against that Stanford defensive front, which has shown some vulnerability at times, although statistically they're pretty good. We'll see tonight when number 7 Stanford takes on number 8 Notre Dame in Notre Dame Stadium.